We'll start with the topic. So we'll be starting with the topic heat. So this is a chapter 5 of your science 1. Now, when you study heat, what you should know is that some basic concepts in science. First thing you should know is the 3 states of matter. As you are aware, the 3 states of matter are solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state, right? The solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state. For example, when you consider water, water is the liquid state. When you cool it, you get ice. And when you heat water, you get steam. So ice is the solid state. Liquid state itself is water, or we can say water is itself in its liquid state. And the steam is the gaseous state. When we look at the states of matter, one interesting thought can come to our mind. What is that thought? Did you get that thought? You should get that thought as a science student. That thought is, how can we convert the 3 stages into each other? That is, how can I convert the solid state into the liquid state and the liquid state into the gaseous state? So when I think about this interconversion, I realize, and everybody should realize, is that yes, if you want to convert any state, say a solid into a liquid and a liquid into a gas, then you have to give it energy, right? Here, when I say energy which will be in the form of heat. That is, if I take ice and I heat it, it will become water. If I take water and I heat it, it will become steam. So I can think of this in the form that I can write it like solid liquid and liquid gas. And let me see if I can get the marking. So that I can write here. Or let us use the board. That is, when I say solid, then I can write liquid. Then I can write gas. Now, if I want to convert a solid into liquid, I have to heat it. If I want to convert a liquid into gas, I have to heat it. Right? So let me write it once again. Solid, then liquid, then gas. So when I heat a solid, triangle represents heat, it becomes a liquid, and when I heat a liquid, it becomes a gas. Now, what you should know is why this is so. What is happening actually when I heat a solid into a liquid, or when I heat a liquid and it becomes a gas? Any idea? Yes, you must be having little idea. Now, if you look at the state of the atoms or the molecules in a solid, you see that they are very close to each other. They're all very close, compactly placed, right? Densely packed, extremely close to each other. And what is the state in a liquid? These atoms are a little bit far away from each other. When you look at a gas, the atoms or molecules. Why do I say molecules? Because compounds are in form of molecules and elements are in form of atoms. You see in gases, the atoms or the molecule. In gas, we can say molecule other than helium. So in the gas, the molecules are far away from each other, extreme far away from each other. So you see they are very close here. They are little far, I can write, or not very close. And here they are extremely far away from each other. Right? So this is the basic concept. Now, what happens when I supply heat? When I supply heat, what is heat basically? What is heat actually? What is heat? Heat is energy, right? Heat is a form of energy. So when I supply the heat, these atoms which are very close to each other, they get the energy, and because of that they start vibrating. Okay, I use the word vibrating. The vibrations become more. In that state also they have vibrations, but in this situation they start vibrating more because they get the energy, and their vibrations become so vigorous because they have got more energy, right? That is the energy, and they tend to go away from each other. When the atom or molecules tend to go away from each other, slowly the solid state is converted into the liquid state, right? Now if you keep on giving them energy, they will get further more energy, and with that energy they will further vibrate. See, in the SSC board there is no topic about the forces which are present in this between these atoms or molecules. Actually there are forces which are present, okay, which which bind all these atoms together in a solid. These are very strong forces. But they are not so strong compared to what is the strength of the energy, the energy which is given, right? So I can say that yes, there are forces between the solids, and that force, the energy which you are supplying is able to overcome that force. Okay, आप जो एनर्जी दे रहे हो, कैसे दे रहे हो एनर्जी? आप हीट सप्लाई करते हो, बराबर? जैसे आप हीट सप्लाई करते हो तो इन एटम्स को एनर्जी मिलता है, और इस एनर्जी से ये उन फोर्सेस को ओवरकम करता है, right? It overcomes these forces and it goes away from each other. So we have this solid where they are all very close to each other. Here we have liquid because they got little energy and they have overcome the forces and they've gone little far. And here this is very fabulous. So you can see they have gone more far away from each other. Okay, that is why, you know, when we talk about properties of solids, we say that they have definite shape and volume, right? Liquids, we say that they have definite volume but they do not have definite shape, and gases neither have definite shape nor definite volume. Gases का खासियत आपको पता होगा, you know, gases take the shape of the container as well as they take the shape of the container as well as they take the volume of the container also, right? अगर यहाँ पे if you take one point and one place and you light an incense stick, that is agarbatti, you know, the smell of that incense stick goes far and wide from one point to another. Okay, if you fill a gas in a big container, its volume will be that much big. If you fill a gas in a small container, its volume will be less, but it will be under pressure. So let's have a recap of this, what I told you. There are three states of matter. One is solid, one is liquid, other is gas, right? When you write state, I say gaseous state. Now it is only solid, liquid, gas. And I'm putting an arrow. That arrow will represent conversion, right? Then what I should know is, in solids, the atoms or molecules are very close to each other. Okay. In liquids, they are little close to each other. And in gas, they are very far away from each other. So what is happening here? Okay. Basically, what is happening? They are gaining energy. And here also, there is gain of energy. So yeah, energy, because of this energy, they are moving far away from each other. Now, why we are studying this is because to understand the first topic in the chapter, that is the concept of latent heat, you should understand this topic. Okay, once you know this, then only you will be able to figure out what is latent heat, right? So the introduction of this chapter, we study what is the solid, liquid, gaseous state, how they are converted. And by the end of this topic, we also realize a very interesting thing. You know, what is that interesting thing? That if we go in the reverse, agar hum reverse mein jate, right? So that is from gas to liquid and liquid to solid. Then what will I have to do? Instead, in the earlier, I have taken energy. You can see gas has taken energy, right? So we have to give the energy back. That is, if the energy is removed from gas, it will become a liquid. And if energy is removed from the liquid, it is become a solid. That is why the water, if it is kept in the refrigerator, it becomes ice. Okay. If you cool steam, अगर आप steam को cool करोगे, तो वो steam water बन जाएगा, और उस water को cool करोगे, तो वो ice बन जाएगा. ये अपने को समझना चाहिए by the end of this topic कि if you go from the left to right, that is solid, liquid, gas, you can see energy it is taking energy and converting. And if you go reverse, when you go reverse, it is, that is, we are taking the energy, taking out the energy out of the system में से हम लोग energy जब भी निकालते हैं तो reverse process होता है. So that was the first topic. I hope you understood. Okay, so welcome to the second topic. Today's second topic that we are going to study is a very interesting topic, that is latent heat. Okay, so latent heat. So when I say latent heat, what I should know, you know, that it is a heat. Okay, let me write it. It is a heat which is used for the transformation, okay, this is not a technical definition, this is a understanding general definition, just a sentence to understand. It is a heat which is used for the transformation, or I can say change, that is easy word for you, change of a state of a substance, change of the state of a substance. Okay, change of the state of a substance. So what does this mean? Okay, so as I told you, as I showed you in the previous lecture, that when you heat a solid, it becomes a liquid, and when you heat a liquid, it becomes a gas. In that situation, there is a change in the state of the substance, right? जब एक solid liquid बनता है और एक liquid gas बनता है, तो वो substance का state change होता है, बराबर? उस state को change करने के लिए जो energy लगता है, उसको हम बोलते हैं latent heat, right? That energy which is used for the transformation of that state of the substance. Okay, I'm repeating this many times, try to understand this. when you heat any substance, its state changes, right? What did I say? When you heat any substance, its state changes. आप कोई substance को heat करते हो तो उसका state change होता है. Okay, and during that process, whatever heat you are supplying, and that heat is used to change the state of the substance, that heat is the latent heat. So whenever that change in state of the substance is happening, that substance absorbs the heat. Okay, that substance absorbs the heat, and that heat which is absorbed by the substance is called the latent heat. This is not a technical definition. We will be studying technical definition. Okay, this is for you to understand. I hope you understood this. तो फिर से बता रहा हूं आपको, whenever you heat any substance, its state changes, and when its state changes, it absorbs certain heat, right? The heat which is used to change the state of the substance, that heat जो वो substance absorb करता है जिससे कि उसका state change होता है, that heat is called latent heat. I hope now it is very clear. Now we will try to understand this with the help of one experiment in your textbook. Okay, so the experiment is very interesting. Why it is interesting is because it gives us an idea on how to think of the change in state of the substance. Okay, so we will try to get an idea about the change in the state of the substance using this experiment. Okay, now what is done in this experiment is, as you can see, there is a beaker or a jar, we can say, which is having some cubes of ice, and these ice cubes are placed on a burner stand where there is flame, and you have a thermometer which is placed in the ice cube. And what the thermometer will do? The thermometer is used to measure the temperature. What the burner will do? The burner is used to supply heat to the system. So with the heat which is applied to the system, the ice will start melting. And what the thermometer will do? The thermometer will check the temperature. Okay, so kaisa hai setup? What is the setup? So you can see that there is a beaker which is having ice cubes, there is a thermometer, and there is a burner, and obviously there is a stand on which the beaker is kept. When you are heating it, the ice is melting, and the thermometer will measure the temperature. Now देखो, if you ask any layman, means राह चलता व्यक्ति, if you ask him कि अगर हम कोई सब्सटेंस को हीट करते हैं तो थर्मोमीटर में क्या होगा, टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा कम होगा, तो ऑब्वियसली ही विल टेल टेम्परेचर तो बढ़ेगा, राइट? कोई भी सब्सटेंस को हम लोग जब भी हीट करते हैं तो टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा. दिस इज व्हाट ही विल से, लेमैन विल टेल दैट. ओके, सो think about it. But is it same for us? Is it same for us? Think about it. No, it is not same. Okay, that is in our case we cannot say that yes, the temperature will increase. Why we cannot say? Because there is a concept of latent heat. Okay, think about it. I'll give you 10 seconds, just think, so that your thought process starts, and then I will give you the explanation. Yes. So what we do, to understand this, by looking at this, we will not understand, right? By measuring the temperature in the thermometer, we will try to understand by measuring the temperature. So, and once we measure the temperature along with the time, what we do is we will get this graph. Okay. We will get this graph and we have to understand this graph. This graph is very important from the point of view of exam, because a graph सीधा exam में आता है and they will ask you like what is happening here, A to B, what is happening B to C, what is happening C to D. And no, it is actually very easy, but there are many children who struggle this because they don't understand the concept. So now focus on the concept. So what has happened is we have taken a beaker and we have put ice cubes, we have put thermometer, we are heating the beaker. और जब भी हम उसको हीट करते हैं तो we are noting the temperature. हम लोग temperature note करते हैं and along with the time. So this is the time. As you can see, there is arrow and here there is a temperature. Okay. Now the point is, what happens initially, the temperature of ice is 0 degree. सबको पता है temperature of ice is 0 degree. So what happens is, so this is the graph which I'm marking in red. Initially time is increasing. 2 minute हो गया, 4 minute हो गया. Okay, time is increasing. So temperature increase नहीं हो रहा है. Remember this. Okay. Initially what happens is you are heating. आप heat कर रहे हो. आपका observation क्या है? आप ये observe करोगे. What is your observation is that you are heating that beaker. When you are heating that beaker, no, you are saying you are heating the beaker. Okay, but the ice slowly gets converted into water. जैसे आप heat करते हो, the moment you're beginning to heat, the ice is slowly getting converted into water. But the temperature in the thermometer is not increasing. The temperature remains constant. Okay, so understand this very important fact. Temperature remains constant. So you see at that state, there is ice plus water. Okay, so they have shown you that for 4 minutes, initial 4 minutes, there is ice plus water. Once all the ice is converted into water, then the temperature begins to increase. Okay, एक बार पूरा आइस पानी में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा तो टेम्परेचर बढ़ने स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. That I have shown you with the green line. Now the temperature increases. How much it increases? See, you can see here it increases. At this point, what is the temperature here? How much it is? 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. So at 100 degrees Celsius, what happens to the water? The water again starts boiling. Water starts boiling. I will not use the word again. I use the word again is to notify that the temperature becomes constant again. Okay, the temperature becomes constant again at 100 degree. But you see the water begins to boil till all the water boils off. The temperature remains at 100 degrees Celsius only. So the graph looks like this actually. Let me draw it in the side. Okay, this is the graph. What is the graph? So you have a portion which is AB in the graph. ये क्या है AB portion? ये वो portion है जहाँ पे ice water हो रहा है. This is that portion where ice is becoming water. Okay, when ice becomes water, the temperature remains constant. समझो इस बात को. Why the temperature remains constant? Because I taught you in the beginning, latent heat. Whatever heat we are supplying to the ice, that heat is used for the conversion of ice into water. जो भी heat हम ice को supply करते हैं, that heat is used for conversion of the ice into water. Once all the ice becomes water, then only the temperature will begin to increase, and it increases here, B to C. It increases here, and it increases till how much degree? It increases till 100 degree. Why 100 degree? Because 100 degree is the boiling point of water. Once water boils and reaches 100 degree, then again the temperature becomes constant here, that is C to D. Why it becomes constant C to D? Because again the heat which is supplied is used in the conversion of the liquid state to the gaseous state. So I'll give you a minute. Think about this. Let your thought process begin. And after a minute, I will explain again. But please think what I told just now. So, did you think about it? So, what did I say? I told you that you have a beaker. Let's look at the image. So, it will be easy for you to again think about the image. So, you have a beaker, you have ice cubes, and you have kept a burner that is for heating the ice cubes, and you have a thermometer for measuring the temperature. Okay, now when you heat the ice cubes, the ice will get converted into water. When you heat the water will get converted into steam. The ice will get converted into water and the water will get converted into steam. What do you think will happen in the thermometer? Normally, you will think that as you heat the ice cubes, the temperature in the thermometer increases. But actually, it doesn't happen so. We observe that initially, though we are heating the ice cubes, the temperature remains constant. Though we are heating the ice cubes, the temperature remains constant. Till when does it remain constant? It remains constant till all of the ice is converted into water. Okay. Once all of the ice is converted into water, then the temperature of the water will increase. It will increase till 100 degrees Celsius. Once the temperature reaches 100 degrees Celsius, then only the water will boil, and then the temperature will again become constant. So if you look at the point, so let me clear this markings and let us remark again. So if you look at this point, at the point A, there is ice plus there is little bit of water, and as you start heating it, you will have ice plus water. So there will be only solid plus liquid here. But if you see at B, there will be only liquid. Okay, because all of the ice has become liquid. And once all of the ice has become water, that is water, then the temperature will increase. Okay, temperature will increase. It will increase till C. So you can see this line, I'm making it thick. Okay, so it will increase. Once all of the ice, we're discussing about this graph, that is, I just now told you, when all of the ice is converted to liquid, its temperature will increase, the temperature of water will increase, and the temperature will increase till 100 degrees Celsius. Once the water reaches 100 degrees Celsius, so think, once the water reaches 100 degrees Celsius, then again the temperature will become constant. Okay, it will again become constant. I am marking this with red line. The temperature will become constant again. It will not increase further because the water is getting converted into steam. So finally, in conclusion, I can explain this graph very fast like this, that initially when ice is heated, the temperature remains constant. It remains constant till all of the ice is converted into water. Once all of the ice is converted into water, then the temperature of the water will increase. It will increase till 100 degrees Celsius because 100 is the boiling point of water. Once it reaches its boiling point, again the temperature will become constant and the temperature will not increase. Now coming to why this happens is because whatever heat we are supplying between these points A, B, okay, let me clear off everything to become more clear. Yes, between A, B and between C and D, here the heat absorbed is the latent heat. Okay, now latent heat, as I told you, is the heat which is absorbed for the transformation, change in the state of the substance. So heat absorbed. Okay, so this is the latent heat. So from A to B and C to D, whatever heat is absorbed, that heat absorbed is the latent heat. Okay, now technical definition, we will see what is the definition of latent heat. What is latent heat? I told you latent heat is the heat which is absorbed by the substance when it changes, okay, from one state to another. Okay, so in your book for the word state, they have used the word phase. Okay, state के जगह पे उन्होंने phase use किया है. Okay, so other everything is the same. So what is latent heat? Let us try to get the definition. The amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a solid to convert into liquid phase is called the specific latent heat of fusion. Now this word fusion is used because if you see here in this graph, okay, there is the process of melting. Okay, so I'll just expand this. Yes, here this is the process of melting, right? Melting is also called as fusion. Melting को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Fusion. So from A to B there is a process of melting which is happening, which is fusion. So the heat absorbed during that state is the latent heat of fusion. That is from the solid state to the liquid state. When the change is happening, whatever heat absorbed, that is the latent heat of fusion. And then if you go to the other end, that is at the top, this is vaporization, is it not? So I will call this as the latent heat of vaporization. This I will call it as the latent heat of vaporization. So you have 2 points here. One is latent heat of fusion. So one is latent heat of vaporization. So what did I do? I told you just in the beginning, I told you latent heat. So once you understand latent heat, then you can apply that concept of latent heat to the 2 points, that is from 2 faces, you know, of that graph, that is from A to B and then C to D, where A to B is process of melting. So it will be latent heat of fusion. And C to D is that part where there is vaporization occurring, so it is latent heat of vaporization. So how the definition will go is, see, in the both cases it is heat absorbed. Okay, both the cases what it is, heat absorbed. दोनों केस में heat absorbed है. Okay, but if you see A to B, it is heat absorbed during the process of fusion, and if you see C to D, it is heat absorbed during the process of vaporization. Is it not? A to B, it is heat absorbed during the process of fusion, and C to D, it is a heat absorbed during the process of vaporization. So I have here 2 terms. One is latent heat of fusion and one is latent heat of vaporization. So fusion, how I will tell, is the amount of heat absorbed at a constant temperature by unit mass of a solid to convert into liquid phase. Okay, so the specific latent heat of fusion, there is latent heat of fusion, we can call it specific latent heat of fusion also. Specific latent heat of fusion, what it is the amount of heat absorbed, that is the quantity of heat absorbed at constant temperature. Why the word constant temperature is used? Because you can see yourself here that it is a constant temperature. Both sides the temperature is constant, is it not? Temperature nahi बढ़ रहा है. That is why amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a substance, that is a reference for unit mass of a substance of a solid to convert into liquid phase. Now when I talk of vaporization, अगर मैं fusion को vaporization कर दूं, in place of fusion suppose I write vaporization, okay, then what change will happen? The definition will remain the same, only in place of solid, okay, you will get liquid, right? And in place of liquid you will get gaseous phase. Difference will be that, right? Because in fusion solid is becoming liquid, and in vaporization liquid is becoming gas. So when I say solid, then latent heat of fusion, when I say latent heat of fusion, then solid is becoming liquid. So you can see I have circled here solid and here liquid, okay, in green. Those who cannot see, I'll just zoom it, right? So fusion ke liye it will be solid and liquid, because there is conversion solid to liquid. But for vaporization, what it will be there? In place of solid, it will be liquid, and in place of liquid, it will be gas. In place of liquid, it will be gas, right? Gaseous phase. When I say phase, it will be gaseous phase. That is why you should study this definition, one definition. With this one definition, you can write both the definitions. Okay, so let's prepare the definition. The amount of heat energy, let me clear the things so that it becomes easy to read. So the amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a solid, by unit mass of a solid, to convert into liquid phase. Okay, so amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a solid to convert into liquid phase is called latent heat of fusion. So try to by heart this definition now itself.